Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Wrestling World Talks with Dan and Mac.
We have reached a point and a milestone for All Elite Wrestling, something I did not expect that I would have to talk about coming into All In weekend, of course, at Wembley, 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening or watching Pww Talks here on YouTube under Diamond Podcasting Productions.
Yeah!
And, of course, on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Please look for Pww Talks. I am your host, Dan, forever joined by my co-host and best friend for over 20 years, Mac.
Bitch.
How you been, buddy? How was your assignment?
Oh, it was great. It was fantastic. Well needed.
Ah, yes. A little R&R.
Yep.
Well needed. And now we come to an event. The big one. Their WrestleMania. Their stadium show of the year.
But hold on.
Crowd.
You know who's never main evented Wembley, right?
Yeah, I heard. And then because apparently that if you don't headline Wembley Stadium in your career, you've done shit. Like, you've done nothing in the wrestling industry. Doesn't matter if you've been to WrestleMania. Doesn't matter if you were at the Sky Dome in Toronto with Hulk Hogan. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
It doesn't.
if you're,
Because you didn't do Wembley.
or a box office draw, not only in wrestling, but also in movies.
I was looking at the most attended events in WWE history, and I'm looking at stadiums like the Sky Dome, the Houston Astrodome, Safeco Field in Seattle for WrestleMania 19. No, let's include Miami against John Cena at WrestleMania 28. Then a year later, twice in a lifetime at WrestleMania 29. Yes, it annoyed me. Yes, the fact that they went back to back as the main event, the second time for the championship, that was meaningless. But he can still sit there and say to Will Ospreay, how many times did I draw 40 plus? How many times did I draw 50 plus, 60 plus? You cannot compare yourself to a guy that has headlined WrestleMania after WrestleMania. I get it. He is Dave Meltzer's wet dream of a wrestler. I get it. He's the internet darling. He's the guy that
Is he though?
everybody is just-
Hold on. Is he though?
Yeah,
You know what it is? But to segue for a second, because I don't need to talk about the internet at this point, because I'll be here all day.
I know.
For a guy that hates WWE, it's like Chris Rock and Will Smith, man. It's just keep their name out of your mouth.
Just shut the fuck up.
If you don't like them so bad, good for you. And listen, context is king. So apparently he was on with somebody else. I forget the name. They were interviewing that person, and then The Rock came up. They moved the conversation away from The Rock, and then it came right back to The Rock. And then that's where Will Ospreay said, The Rock has never main evented Wembley.
Well, I mean, and I understand you're trying to plug the show and you're trying to be
I don't even think he was doing
that.
that. I just think he was getting frustrated by the comparison and the fact that The Rock kept coming up. But it's like there's so much better way of handling that and handling the media, especially when the media wants to talk about WWE and not AEW. But at the same token, like I said, for a guy that hates the E as much as this man does, keep their name out of your mouth.
When Sting was the franchise, the top guy in WCW, he would talk about stories of him going to the NAPTI convention, and he would have like a little booth about the size of a postage stamp where WWE would have like an entire ring set up, with Mean Gene Okerlund there and Hulk Hogan and all these guys. And WCW had a postage size booth with a little crayon or like marker logo and sign that said Sting on it. Not many. WCW really didn't get big time notice until Hulk Hogan showed up, and until
even then,
the NWO happened.
That's what I was gonna say. Even when he showed up, I would argue that they really didn't get that much notoriety until '96.
Yes. And the fact is that the reason why the WCW was able to beat WWE was because WCW put together a team of 3 marquee WWE names and made people believe that those guys were bigger and badder than anybody in WCW. A roster of 60 some odd guys couldn't be as cool and as bad as 3. That's why WCW was winning the war. If you want your imprint and your footprint in this industry to grow, go talk to Tony and tell him we need to start doing other things than booking dream matches. That's how you grow a company. You have to have compelling stories instead of 78 2 counts in a match. Ooh, he hit his finisher. Oh, Sling Blade. No!
We now have to count that on Sunday, by the way. Thanks for that.
You know it's going to be like that.
Oh, I know
78. It's... And I understand. I'm looking forward to the match too, folks. I'm not. Look, Kenny Omega's in my discussion as one of the best wrestlers of all time, and I want to like Ospreay, but when he says shit like that, where I'm just like, just shut up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you are the Wrestling Observer Wrestler of the Year for 75 fucking years in a row. Doesn't matter. It's a work. It's a fucking work. Holy shit. My problem with Ospreay is, and guys of his ilk in this industry, is because they're better workers than The Rock or some of these other guys, they're automatically better. You're not. You're not. You're never gonna be. You hit your ceiling. You just have.
So, I did look up the list of attendance, by the way. So I looked up 2 different attendances, by the way, just for the sake of argument here, just because that and it's also funny.
Yes.
So the highest with The Rock, I'll say it that way, with The Rock is WrestleMania 29. The Rock versus John Cena was the main event. So that was 2013.
MetLife, yes.
Yes. Then I looked up highest attendance for Wembley, period. The current holder of the highest attendance for Wembley Stadium is actually boxing. It was the match between Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois in 2024.
Okay.
For wrestling, it is SummerSlam 92.
Still.
Yeah. But that's for wrestling. There's different
okay.
lists. So like that's that depending on how you read it, it was 78 927 or 8355. The NFL beat them by like almost 10K. The NFL was the Patriots and the Jaguars in 2024, 86 651. So they have different lists here.
So they did not break SummerSlam 92's record 3 years ago. Is that what you're telling me?
That is what it seems like I am telling you, yes.
Because remember, they toted that fucking number so big. And they actually had to go to the government to try to stop that real number from happening, from coming out, because they had already marketed that they had hit 83, whatever the fuck it was. But then, like, I think a month later, it came out that it was like 75. So WWE 92 SummerSlam still holds the record for Wembley.
So I just Googled it, highest Wembley attendance events, and yeah, it's historic Wembley Stadium, 23 to 2000. So apparently the all-time record is a soccer cup final, which was over 100,000. There was a Billy Graham evangelical rally, 120,000 in 1954. But then it says under those two, wrestling, 78 927, 8 355 WWE SummerSlam, August 29th, 1992.
Okay.
So yes, it looks like AEW is not even in the conversation.
They don't even have the record. And it's just like, and, you know, that was their big tout. That was supposed to be the line that they and I was like, you know, hard to argue. Not going to argue it. I wasn't going to, you know, insult them and say, oh my God, what a worthless record. When they started to market it, though, and then the truth came out, yeah, I found that hilarious.
Yeah, here it is. I Googled it real quick. So Wembley drew an announced paid ticket sale figure of 81,035. So I'm sorry, 81,035. The actual turnstile count was 72,265. It was estimated anywhere from 84 to 85K, which include staff, comps, and guests. So what do they? I'll Google that too. I might as well. All in Wembley 2026 tickets sold.
They think it's around 42 now.
Yeah, according to Google, it is not sold out, which I find that hilarious. That is the first sentence. With around 43,585 tickets distributed and some seats still available ahead of the event on Sunday.
I mean, to be fair, I don't even remember if they cracked 20,000 for All In Texas last year.
I think they did. Let's check real quick. Oh, that's not the right search. Hold on. Attendance numbers. There we go.
Because I'm thinking that I remember.
It says nearly 30,000. So it was somewhere over 20.
Okay. However, to go from 30 to 42 in a year, or just under 30 to 42 in a year, should be celebrated. That absolutely should be celebrated.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Especially, too, the numbers being up from where you were 2 years ago. Again, should be celebrated because it shows that Tony can rely on his talent and Tony is a competent booker. And understand, look, hey, we said on this program a few weeks back, we said the ideal thing for him to do is for Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay to main event All In, and he listened. Whether he watched the show or not, maybe he does, maybe he thought it was the idea, but the fact of the matter is that this is where we're at. The match that everybody wanted to see to be in Wembley Stadium is going to happen. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, the big draw, the big main event of this show, the one that everybody was talking about. The one thing that I said, if you want to get close, you want to sell tickets, you want to have this show headline, this match headline. And that's exactly what has taken place, folks. And that is something to celebrate and also to look at and say, this is going to be something special. Can it live up to the hype of their other matches? I say yes. I say both guys at this point. Will has definitely come back from the injury. So is Kenny. Kenny's got something to prove. especially considering the fact that the rumors are growing that it was talked about this week with Dave Meltzer that the last contract for the Bucks could be currently. They could be currently on their last deal. So there is
There's a lot, actually, I think. If I remember correctly, there's a lot this year going into next year.
Yes. Britt Baker, for one thing, his contract is definitely going to be up this fall, which the question will be, that will probably be that's probably going to be a Rumble participant. I'm going to call that probably very early on. Britt Baker in the Rumble,
Could
bank
be.
on it.
Could be.
I honestly think that'll probably be, she'll probably be first just to to get people going on that. But a lot of contracts. It is going to be an interesting year for 2026, the end of 2026, going into 2027, going into 2028. It is going to be interesting. A lot of these contracts are going to be coming up on both companies' ends.
Yep. Both
and AEW especially have got to make decisions.
Well, speaking of contracts and stuff of that nature, what do you think the over-under is that we see Ilya Dragunov this weekend?
He hasn't been released, hasn't he?
I'm pretty sure that he did not resign. I believe that's what the commentary is.
Okay.
Which I heard the commentary also was that he was making too much money for what he was worth, supposedly.
But
is that his fault, or is that them not really featuring him?
I thought he was done for after the Rumble. That's just
yeah. That kind of was the kiss of death. Not for nothing.
That was when I saw the Rumble. I saw that moment. I'm like, forget it. That was it. Because it's just because everybody who ever worked with him sold that offense, and Brock's a great seller. Brock has been able to sell a lot of guys in this industry.
Brock's
in the
not
past,
going to sell for him, though.
But Brock looks at him and says, "Go fuck your mother," because he's looking at a guy that is literally a quarter the size of him. He's not going to do that. He'll do that for Rey Mysterio because Rey Mysterio has earned that respect. Rey Mysterio is also a different type of performer at that size. Dragunov, as far as Brock looks at it, is just going to say, "Oh, you're going to try to do my shit on me? Yeah, fuck you."
No, I didn't see it that way. I saw it as like, I'm not going to do the job for you, bro. Sorry,
exactly.
Sorry.
That was it. That was he's like, I'm not even going to sell for you.
I think Dragunov is incredibly talented. I think he would do better in AEW, though.
I agree.
I think he's got a great moveset, but I think it's a moveset that really would jive with that roster. Not to say he couldn't be successful in WWE, but I felt, and I still feel this way too, unless you're doing something else, they're not going to put you on TV. And, it was like, okay, you're going to be U.S. champion for a cup of coffee. Cool, what am I doing after that? I don't know. It's the same thing with Jordan Grace right now. Okay, you're going to supposedly feud with Jay Cargo. What am I doing after that? I don't know. It annoys the shit out of me. It really does, because there are people, and then it's like, okay, but we're going to call up Lola Vice coming up soon. You just called up Blake Monroe and had her attack Julia before the match even started, and what next? It's just, you don't have enough time on television at this point, especially with losing the third hour of SmackDown. It's tough.
I think what, again, the fact is that they're going to look, because you think of all the major signings in the last couple of years. And yeah, there's been ones that they focused on. Stephanie Vacure. I mean, she has definitely been used probably better than most of the female talents, as far as the major acquisitions in the last couple of years.
Well, look who she fought the other day. She fought Roxanne Perez, who, what are you doing with her?
Exactly. There's a lot of frustration, I think, that I sense with a lot of talent in that company. It's just because, yeah, the positions at the top are fine, but at the same time, it's like, it almost feels like WCW right now. like where you have the higher price talent just clinging on to these fucking spots. And I'm looking at CM Punk and Roman Reigns, especially. Mind you, both guys are performing miles ahead of what Hulk Hogan was and Kevin Nash was in 98, 99. But I'm still sensing that. You still have that sense and that vibe from that company of just like, it's just everybody that's making a shit ton of money up top and nobody can get past them. Not one. They're just stagnant. It's just they get shifted around. They're put up. It's just like, yep, put them up for a month or two. Gets a rematch, maybe one more, and then that's it. Then he gets pushed out to the side, and then he doesn't do shit for the rest of his contract. The fact that LA Knight's getting another match for Roman Reigns is just, another championship match. It's just like, wow, that's shocking.
But who knows if that's going to happen, given what happened on Monday night, which you talk about WCW, the whole, Royce Keys and OTM vibe. Holy crap. That gave me WCW vibes all over again, too.
I'm just like, I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh my God, you become what you hated.
Yeah.
Like you become what you parodied for so long.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on? And, and that's really, I think the fact is too, is that from this conversation, everybody's probably just like, well, are you supposed to preview All In? It's like, but any
that's
negative
why I kept that on the screen. Yeah.
Any negative AEW fan, any negative WWE fan and positive AEW fan is just gonna be like, yeah, man, yeah, the Fed's become WCW, man. You're right. Like I'm appeasing those people.
So, speaking of cancel culture and things of that nature, I completely forgot about this, and I just remembered it during this conversation. We actually have an NXT show this weekend too, that is doing counter programming.
Oh, yes, I forgot.
So before we go to AEW, I'm just gonna go through these matches very, very quickly. Some of them I don't understand. Some of them already annoy me. I'm gonna go from bottom to top. If you're following on Wikipedia before the show, apparently there's a submission match between Jada Parker and Natty. She's not Natalia. She's Natty. There is a NXT Tag Team Championship match. Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights, who are guests of the champions, fighting the Vanity Project of Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes. Who the hell is Ricky Smokes? Okay. I was like, is this Ricky Saints but a new alter ego? It is not. All right. NXT North American Championship, Miles Bourne against Jackson Drake. The unification match for the Women's Speed Championship and Women's North American Championship. Zarya versus Ren Sinclair and versus Kaylee Armstrong is in this match. Okay, that makes no sense, but sure. Kendall Gray versus Kalani Jordan for the NXT Women's Championship. Yeah, Kendall Gray is not dropping that belt yet. And then there's going to be a Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship, which just absolutely pisses me off. Tony D'Angelo, Grayson Waller, Cruz Montana, and the new acquisition of Zilla Fatu. Why is Zilla Fatu immediately in the championship race? Why?
Where's that other dude? The one that looks like E-Rock. What's he?
Cruz Montana.
Not Cruz Montana. The other one.
Well, it's Mike Sanchez, I guess, or Mike Santana. What? I don't know who you're talking about.
Remember the guy, the fat guy from England that everybody was...
Oh, that guy. Yeah, dude, I don't know where that guy went.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Like, he was like the thing. Like
for like 20 seconds.
for like 3 weeks, he was like the thing on NXT, and now it's like he's not even booked on this card. What do you do already?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't get this card at all. I don't understand why Grayson Waller is back in NXT for a title. I don't understand why Zilla Fatu was immediately thrust into the title picture. I don't understand why you're having a winner take all for 2 belts and one of the women doesn't even have a belt. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
What are we watching here?
Yeah.
Do we even know what we're watching?
I don't understand why Jada Parker and Natty are having a submission match.
Of all things.
Of all the things. And listen, I don't watch NXT that often, obviously. I used to here and there. I really haven't in probably over a month at this point. So I have no idea what's going on. I hate it. I hate it on paper.
How are they going to have Jada Parker submit? They're just going to watch her Jey Uso matches for 2 hours?
Oh, that's rough.
That's how
Oof, that's rough.
Just old main event Jey Uso run.
So apparently, I'm just reading off Wikipedia. Apparently, Heatwave is taking place after Triple A show, which is Ola de Calor, if I'm saying that correctly. Which apparently is in the same venue where Heatwave is going to be, which is in Edinburgh, Texas. The event, alongside Ola de Calor, will go head-to-head against AEW flagship pay-per-view, All In.
God, if you're going to counter program, how about you fucking try? How about you put something out there? Like, honestly, it's like, all right, maybe you're not going to do shit compared to them. Like, let them have their fucking day. Really? Who gives a shit? It should be a house show at this point. You're booking a house show against like a show, like an actual wrestling show, an actual card that people care about. Yep. Because, they decided to have their super show one day and just put their best matches on of it instead of just being like your decision of just saying, so we're just going to, you know what WWE has done? It's like all of essentially they've just made themselves like WrestleMania and SummerSlam now because they're night 1 and 2. They're just reload from Metallica where it's just like disc 1 and disc 2. Yeah. No. Wait. No. I got one better.
Jesus.
That fucking Guns N' Roses album, the double one, the double album, you know what I'm talking about. It came out like 91, 92. The one with November Rain on it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Where that was like 2 albums in one. Because, of course, it took 5 years after Destruction. So it's, so that's what WWE has become, where it's just become this overblown kind of just like, all right, we get it. Like, Use Your Illusion. That's it. It just came into my head. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And it was a double album. So where that's what WWE, I feel like, has done, has become as a company where it's just like, they're in their overblown rock era of just like, hey, man, we're just going to come with double albums all the time with big guitars and all this type of stuff. But there's no substance to it. It's just loud instruments. Where this, you almost feel like is a well put together 70s rock album. Something like Zeppelin or, Rush would do, where everything is just like the whole show, the whole disc, the whole records tells a story. Where this whole show is telling a story. And that story is that this company continues time and time and time again to be the absolute best in-ring wrestling product maybe of all time. And I hate saying that, but at the same, it's hard to argue. It's very hard to argue because of the killer shows and that, look, I'm looking at the Young Bucks and Cope and Christian especially. That is going to be because the Young Bucks probably looked up to these guys in the early 2000s. So these guys were kids looking up to these guys, and now it's their chance at Wembley Stadium for the AEW Tag Team Championship. This up there is because you can argue Edge and Christian are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And I know there is a lot of fucking people that hate to admit this. There was a lot of people that absolutely despise when I say this, but I say this with the absolute truth. The Young Bucks are one of the best tag teams in the history of the industry from a marketing standpoint and from an in-ring standpoint as well.
I'm not going to say from marketing. I'm not going to say
They
that.
got on Hot Topic when the industry was at its coldest.
That's fair, but that's...
It's not fair.
Hold on. I am not going to say otherwise, but at the same token, we're talking about Hot Topic when the market's cold, like you said. And it's fucking Hot Topic, not for nothing. Having said that, though, let's jump into this card here. So before I go to the next slide, I have a picture of Hey Madden and Page and Brodito. It is not on AEW.com, funny enough, that this match is even occurring, but apparently there is going to be a multi-trios match for the AEW World Trios Championship. It'll be those three men against to be announced. I hate the fact that they have this championship, by the way.
Yeah, but the way WWE's been going lately, they might be having a trios title now too.
I don't want that, but I wouldn't be surprised either.
Possibility the way that things are lining up.
I don't want it. And I'm going to tell you why. First of all, they already have enough championships. So does AEW.
It's true.
So does AEW. But there's not enough hours of television in a week that they have to portray those belts. That's the issue. Even if they added the third hour back with SmackDown, you still don't have enough time. You barely have your tag teams on half the time, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
It's just, you don't have enough TV time. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It gives you a little palate cleanser during the off days. But at the same token, it's like, I almost wish they had another 2-hour show somewhere because you have so much great talent on your roster and you don't do anything with them.
You know what drives me crazy?
What's that?
I had to admit publicly this week in a private chat with all the members of Pro Wrestling World that David, our producer, was right about Solo Sikoa being a top main event star. He was wrong in the presentation, but he was right in the sense that Solo has a chance now because he's got a fucking chance. Like, at least I could look at them with them and say they have a chance with Solo to be a top guy.
I agree. It's just now that you've reintroduced this whole Royce Keys and OTM thing, it's like, now what?
Exactly.
And the same goes for LA Knight, not for nothing. He's involved in that situation too. And it's just, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Exactly.
But anyways,
let's get to this card. Sorry.
Yeah, so now we got the rest of the card. That was just one match we want to talk about real quick because it's not on the main list here. I will guess start bottom right and then go counterclockwise.
Oh,
here.
we do need to. I do need to mention about that trios match.
What's that?
Because we need to talk about the rumor. It needs to be discussed. That because Swerve Strickland has entered the match with mystery partners.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't watch the other day, so.
Well, it's so Swerve Strickland will be in the trios championship match.
So it's probably gonna be the New Day.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's be real. It's gonna be the New Day.
Yeah, and the fact is too, it's lining up perfectly because you have.
I agree.
If they're not involved, they might be after the tag team title match at least. We might see them more than once, or we just might see them once. But I do not. Well, I'm not saying I do not expect them to be there, because I do expect them to be there. I just think that everybody is just no one is gonna be disappointed. I feel like this is gonna be a slam dunk of kind of a debut. It makes perfect sense. They're not gonna pass it up. The opportunity to debut at Wembley Stadium. No, they're not gonna pass it up.
Well, I don't think it would be smart for either side, the New Day or AEW, to pass it up.
No. This was immediately when they got released. I was just like, and I knew the timing of it. I was like, oh, they might be freed up for that day. And sure enough, they're freed up for that day. So all signs point to, it's like it's on the North Carolina, South Carolina border, those south of the border signs. They're there. You see them. They're all there. They're all pointing. They're going to be there. And I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed. I think it's going to be a memorable moment for the company. They'll probably win. And then the idea of maybe we'll do trios with Kenny and the Bucks against us. Who knows? Because maybe Kenny retains or doesn't retain. We don't know. So.
South of the border.
South of the border.
I was thinking about the time Tony Soprano sang that, but
yes,
much different context, of course.
Whispering Willows.
Yeah, something else. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of go in the order from bottom right and then going over. So that match is Jon Moxley versus Nigel Guinness for the Continental Challenge Cup final for the AEW Continental Championship. That is a mouthful of C's. I think this is going to be a sleeper for some people, but I think it's going to be a really good match. Probably like the sleeper on the card, though, unfortunately.
Like you're looking at it, and it's just like, really? Like this is all the way in the lower right hand corner. Like considering the participants,
I actually just pulled it from their website.
Right,
and I mean, that is the order they posted it in, because you can click on all the matches. So these were clickable if you go on their website, and this is the placement of the matches.
One of my favorite lines that I saw when this match got announced was, "Well, Moxley Hogan will win again." Like, yeah. Like you just sit there, you're like, all of a sudden he comes out, and comes out to Real American. Oh shit, Moxley's out.
But you know what kind of cracks me up? Moxley was in the bracket.
Yes, he was.
And I'm like, why? He's already the Continental Champion. Why is he in the bracket?
Yeah, that didn't like. Well, Liv Morgan was in the Queen of the Ring bracket.
I mean, fair.
What's this about? Like,
I mean, that was definitely a gimme, though. Like, Moxley didn't need to do this. But.
No, he didn't. But he just is like, well, I got to prove myself. Well, for what? You're an asshole. Like, war real. Anyways, moving on, because I'm not going to. I got to prove myself. You're fucking Jon Moxley. Shut up. You don't got to do anything.
Yep. We can discuss winners maybe later on, but
still better than Rollins. Man,
here we go. Anyways, men's casino gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship match. Andrade, MJF, Tommaso Ciampa, Jericho, Mark Davis versus participants. So we don't know the rest of the people involved in this match, but it is more than likely going to be a ladder match for a future AEW Championship. I don't know if that's where you put them, but it would be not a bad place if you're going to do it.
Was he going to take Jericho's head off with a chop? Literally just... Oh, my God.
I'm going to be very interested to see who wins that match. I don't even know who's going to win that match right now. But
you know, the first person to get shot by Dragunov in AEW is going to die.
Probably, yeah.
You know, like it's just hopefully it's Ricochet.
Oh,
you
God,
put him up
please,
against something,
please.
you just like kill this man.
I imagined whoever takes his first, what's his move? The H-bomb, I think.
Oh yeah.
Whoever takes that H-bomb first is gonna get like knocked the fuck out. Like
Yeah,
they're gonna
'cause
take it completely wrong, and they're just gonna go cold.
He's just gonna lay it the fuck in, and it's just like
100%.
he's not even gonna try. It's just gonna be like, ah. He's gonna be so fucking because he's just all he's thinking about still is Brock Lesnar screaming at him and they're just killing him at the Rumble. Like that's all he's thinking about, and it's been on his mind since January. So he's just the first person that just gets in his way in any company or any like show is going to die because he's going to just take his frustration since January out on your ass. It's not going to be a fun day at the office.
Yep, 100%. We also have for the AEW TNT Championship, Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Oh Christ, no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna dive off the roof, isn't he? He is gonna dive off the roof of Wembley Stadium.
I don't know about that, but he's gonna dive through something, whether it's the roof,
Come
glass,
on, the
or
roof
God
of-
knows what.
The roof of Wembley Stadium, he could do it.
He probably can't.
He survived Everest.
You're not jumping down Everest. It's a little bit different when you're jumping off of a high place onto.
I know, but they'll have a spot for him. He'll be able to land safely.
Goodness. Yeah. Okay.
You
Anyway,
know it's gonna happen.
I mean, he's gonna jump off something into something. Let's just. That's all I'll say. He'll probably do the Shane McMahon spot and just jump off up the freaking Titantron, however high that's gonna be.
Oh God, it's like the jumbotron of Wembley Stadium, right? We're just gonna be like,
Yeah.
What the fuck is he doing?
Exactly. There's a three-way match for the AEW International Championship: Kyle Fletcher versus Takashita versus Okada.
Okay.
I don't need Fletcher in this match. I'm just gonna say it that way.
No.
I mean, it'll probably be a good match, but it would be a good match with or without Fletcher. Just
We don't need you in there.
yeah. I'm sorry, my guy. I'm very sorry, but it's just
Leave Okada alone.
I'm spitting facts. I'm sorry. Takashita and Okada can go.
Yes.
I know Fletcher can too, but again, I would rather just this be a one-on-one match, honestly. For the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship, Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross versus the Brawling Birds, Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter. So we have the Brawling Brutes in WWE and the Brawling Birds in AEW.
Well, Megan Bain's contract is supposedly up. Megan Bain is
losing. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, the thing that I don't know if it's going to be like the end of the year or the beginning of the year, but
They're gonna lose.
yeah, because I expect they're going to take her off TV soon because,
They always do that. Yeah.
because she's probably going elsewhere. Like,
I mean, the thing is, Jamie Hayter is British too,
that's true.
so it would make sense for. And so is Alex Winter. Actually, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I forgot Alex Winter was also a Brit. So, I mean, yeah, versus Lena Cross, who's Australian, and Megan Bayne, who's from Connecticut. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Very sorry.
We're not. No.
Yep. And then we get to the end game here with the last three matches. We already talked a little bit about this one, but Cope and Cage versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick, for the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
Like I said, the Bucks were probably were looking at these guys when they were kids and probably idolizing them. And 25 years later, after the TLC matches, the ladder match at WrestleMania 16, all the highlights, all the accolades.
Yeah.
Now they get to work with them at the biggest stadium show they do. These guys are going to tear the place up. This might be it is going to be in the conversation of the final two best matches of the night. No question about it. It is a toss-up between this and what we will get from Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Because of the fact that you have two guys that idolized Edge and Christian, or Cope and Christian for that matter. But come on, folks. Cope is Edge. Of course, so. Contractually, he is not. All right, fine. Cope and Christian. But
it's like saying Kane is the fake Diesel.
It really is. It's just like, really, guys? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. He's Cope. He's Cope.
I mean, he's both. He was Edge, now he's Cope, but the same guy, same wrestler. It is what it is. I get it, but just whatever.
Well, there's just somebody out there that's correcting us right now.
Oh,
it's not Edge. It's not Edge.
I mean, what do you want? The artist formerly known as Edge? Like, Jesus. Good Lord. I think it has a chance to steal the show, but not in like the context of like Kenny versus Will. It'll steal the show for I think the ring psychology, the story it'll tell, more than what'll happen in the ring. Not that what happens in the ring is going to be bad, I feel like, but it's just I think it's going to be overshadowed by the allure of it, I feel like.
It's fair.
But I feel like this next one people could sleep on a little bit for a variety of reasons, but I wouldn't for other reasons. Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW Women's World Championship. As annoyed as I was that Willow won the belt off of Thecla before this show, I can't help but feel like I want Willow to go over.
Well, she's a beloved babyface. Like, she is beloved. So her going into this thing, I really, especially going up against somebody that the biggest reason I don't like Mercedes Moné is the same reason.
There's only one.
Well, the biggest.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
But you're right. There is more than one. Of course, there is. But the biggest one is just the fact of is that she's another one that, just like Will, that just because they're a better worker than like other people that came before them, they're automatically better than them. And I fucking hate that mentality. Hate it. I can't stand that mentality of just this, I'm better than that person ever was. And it's just like, and they honestly believe it. And it's just like, but you're not. You're not. Like, you're not even fucking close. Like, you're just not even close. And I get it. But she's never had a track record of being a box office draw. Never has. And of course, she's just going to be like, well, I drew this house. No, you didn't. It was Will and Kenny. That's who drew this house, not you and your attitude.
I just think it's comical to book this match because of her injury.
Well, yeah.
And I feel like that is the only reason he booked this match. I hate to say it that way, but
I got to get my win back. Tony, I got to get my
win. When I got hurt, it was against Willow, so at All In, can I face Willow to get some justice?
And can I beat her and get the title finally that you promised me when I signed with this?
I just
company?
feel that
Tony.
this match doesn't do any favors for Willow. I hate to say it that way, but that's how I feel right now. And you would like to see like a little give and take for this card, obviously. Like John Moxley and Nigel McGuinness, I don't care. I don't. John Moxley could retain. Nigel could win. I don't think it's going to do much for either one of them. Darby Allin, Kevin Knight, same thing. Fletcher over Takeshita and Okada could help him. It could really help him, I feel like. The other matches, like obviously the one we just talked about, Cage and Cope losing to the Bucks, I think would be huge. I think it'd be huge to the Bucks. Not that the Bucks really need it, but first of all, they get the titles back. Second of all, it's against two guys that, as you said, they probably looked up to a lot when they were younger watching those matches. That'd be huge. I don't think this helps Willow.
The Bucks and Edge and Christian, here we go again. The Bucks and Cope and Christian have a very WrestleMania 19 Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it just has that vibe of just like, the teachers versus the students. Some of the promos have been kind of funny of just like, you're old enough to be our dad.
They're not our dad.
And Chris is just like, who says we're not?
They're not our dad. That was good, yeah.
Who says I'm not? Like, it's just hilarious. It's just, who says I'm not? And it's funny because I shit on Christian sometimes because it's just like, because he's fucking Christian. Like, it's just, that's the thing. It's like, I had somebody I used to work with his name Christian. I just abused him because he was named Christian, because it's just, every time I thought of Christian the wrestler, I would just be like, because to me it was just funny, because it's just like, Christian to me, I wouldn't say he's like the worst in my opinion, but I wouldn't say he was great either in my opinion. Like, he's just there. Like, I get it. He's just, but people are just like, oh, you see him in the Instant Classic in 2005. He should have went over and Cena, and it's just like, I just don't give a shit. Like, he's just, all right, He always reminded me of like Bud Bundy, like that same kind of Bud Bundy vibe that just became a wrestler.
Goodness.
And it's just the same kind of like vibe, and just that stupid smirk on his face. It's just like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
He's just better as this grizzled vet than he ever was in WWE.
That's true. Because he just, there was always something in his career that I was just like, what the fuck is it with you? Like, really, what is it that just strikes to me where I'm just like, oh, this guy's something? No, I just never got that vibe from him. I thought the Unprettier was cool, but that was it.
Later in his career, sure, but not when he was like European champion, not when he was like tag team champion, like obviously. When he was tag team champion, it was just like, okay, you're part of Edge's team, but like it wasn't even about him, like it just, I liked him.
Charisma. What?
Yeah, I had never really connected with that either. I thought it was funny.
But everybody else did. And it's just like,
thought it was hokey.
I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I thought it was funny. I thought it was hokey, but it didn't. After that, I was like, I don't know. But as the grizzled vet that he is now, yeah, 100%. You had a father till he died.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, that'll take us to the last match. Or I guess Will and Mercedes, like I said, that's whatever.
Yeah,
just don't think it's going to do anything for Willow, unfortunately.
Tony, I win the title, right? I win the title.
I won the title, Tony.
Tony. Ah.
This reminds me of all the times Carmelo Soprano just needled Tony Soprano.
Oh God, about the fucking spec house. Shut the fuck
spec
up.
house, about
the fucking spec house.
where
is
the money
just like,
is,
oh,
like anything,
the
man.
money.
You know,
How about the 40 grand you took out of the bird feeder, you dummy?
Jesus. That will take us to the last match. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay for the AEW World Championship.
Yes. The match that everybody that has drawn the house, the matchup that we both said a few weeks back on this program, it's just like, if you really want to get the attendance up and you want people to get interested, you got to put the belt on Kenny into this thing. And that's exactly what has happened. And now the stage is set for an epic world title match between Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Ospreay really not doing himself any favors this week as far as making himself out to be somebody that's likable. When you're going on, it's the last thing you want to do. You know, you just got to take it in stride a little bit and just be happy to be there, that people are talking about your profession instead of getting mad because they're mentioning a guy that works for another company. And also the fact that he is a much bigger star than you ever will be. But the fact that you automatically think you're better than him because, ooh, I can do flips.
Just like I said, man, just keep the name out of your mouth. I just so what?
You never wanted to go to WWE, yet it's just you can't stop talking about WWE. You know, it's like WNBC. I have my W's gone. So I was just like, I got to throw that in there. So it's just, but you sit there and you tell me WWE is supposed to be, you know, I would be staying in Japan if it wasn't for AEW. There's no way I would go there. It's like bullshit, pal. Like if AEW didn't exist and you were working in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and New Japan and WWE were the only game in town at this point for as far as big money payoffs is concerned, you mean to tell me that if they came to you with like a $10 million offer, you wouldn't fucking listen?
Listen, bruv. No, I wouldn't go.
Bruv, I wouldn't go, bruv. Shut up. Work a lighter schedule. Not have to do as much in-sit. You could take the gas off just a little bit. Because the WWE audience, yeah, they want cool finishes. But at the same time, they also don't like it a mile a minute. I look at this year.
That's why I said Dragunov earlier. Because Dragunov, he has two paces. Like, let's be real. Like, he can go slow, but typically he's very fast. And you look at Ricochet, same thing. You look at Swerve, same thing. There are guys that can play both styles. Will's not that guy.
No.
Will has his style, and that's it. He doesn't want to play other styles. And listen, there's obviously promotions, like the one he's in, that will tailor to that, and has other guys willing to match that style. That's great, and I'm glad he's in a main event in a position that he's in. But at the same token, when it comes to stuff outside of the ring, my guy, just shut up. Just please stop talking to the press, especially. Please stop going viral for stupid things.
My thing is that Will Ospreay has to understand. I understand it might not be about money, and I get that. Might not be about money for you. You found a company, though, that was willing to pay you at the highest price, which you should be. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're not a top in-ring performer. You are in the conversation as for one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, you're in the top 3, 4, that conversation. And you're probably making more money than you ever thought you would in a year. Great. My issue is that you say all of this, that you would never go there. Would you take a Shawn Michaels call? Shawn Michaels reached out to you personally and started that conversation. You wouldn't take that? You wouldn't take the guy that is the modern pace setter for how this industry is in ring? I mean, he was kind of the guy that kind of taken it to the hilts, the way that this has gone. Him and Brett. You mean to tell me that if Shawn Michaels didn't get on the phone with Will Ospreay, if he didn't get on the phone with you, that you wouldn't take the call?
I think that that's a little subjective, and I'm going to tell you why. I think if it came to just NXT, he could do it. Because his whole thing was about not having enough time at home.
Right.
But if he was just in NXT, he buys, just, I don't know, a timeshare, we'll say, in Florida. He was there 1 or 2 days, goes back to the UK every other week. He could probably do it. The problem with NXT, though, is that it's technically considered developmental still. It's not a standalone. It's not the third show, even if you want to consider it as such, okay, but it's really not. Whereas WWE would want him to have the exposure of a main roster run. Rightfully so, given his talent inside the ring. But there's two kind of big issues other than that come up in my mind anyways. One is he's going to get burnt out. Mm-hmm. And that surgically repaired neck is not going to do him any favors in a burnout. The other thing is, just very flatly, he still sucks at the mic.
He's not terrible, but he's not, like, I'd say he's better than you're giving him a little credit for.
Probably, but here's the thing. When you consider the mic, you're not talking just the mic. You're also talking about shit outside the ring.
Yeah, no. All right.
And
you
that's
know
the
what?
problem.
You're right. You're right. No, I retract my statement. Sorry.
Because there's guys like Roman, like Cody, like Punk, like others that can, because you have to figure post shows too, not for nothing. Where, like, even Oba's had, 4 PLEs that he's been a part of?
Yes.
Obviously, the last one being the biggest one, SummerSlam, and he comes out in the post show and he's very good on the mic. Very good on the mic. Will's going to come out and complain that The Rock never, he made events at Wembley.
Right.
It's like, bro, shut the fuck up. I get it, and I really do, and I defended it. I gave the context earlier, but at the same token, that's not why I'm watching you.
Right.
I'm not watching you to shitmouth the other company. And we've gone after them before about this multiple times. It's like, keep the other company's name out of your mouth. And for the most part, a lot of them have listened, and they don't do that. I'm not going to say listening to us, but they've listened to the comments area of stop talking about the other company.
Right.
He's still one that just can't help himself. And it really, I hate to say it, but it detracts from the product. And it makes him look stupid.
It does.
And I get it. There's people that are like, no, it doesn't. He's just going to battle for his company, and he has every right to say whatever he wants. And it's like, yeah, none of those comments are wrong. But at the same token, I don't want to keep hearing about it.
You got to handle the press better if you want to be the top guy. You just do. I understand you're frustrated if you're going on because they're not talking about your brand. But Dwayne Johnson is a worldwide figure. Yep. He just is. They look at him and they're just like, yeah, he's an actor, but he also did wrestling too. And you learn to appreciate it because of the groundwork that he laid out for you. You know, it's because of him and his contributions to the industry that you're able to make the amount of money that you are and also being able to headline Wembley. If it wasn't for him breathing new life into the industry in the late 90s with Steve Austin, you'd still be working at bar shows in fucking Belfast somewhere. So don't give me this holier than thou bullshit of, and Mac's right. Fact is that you're going on the plane every 2 weeks back and forth to England. You're on the fucking plane, 7 or 8 hours over the goddamn ocean? And you got neck problems? How about you go talk to Brian Danielson about that situation? He'll tell you the one thing that's been keeping him from going to the shows every week is because of the fact that he can't travel because he can't get comfortable enough with his neck.
I mean, you mentioned other guys though, and you kind of started to allude to it, but I'll finish the statement a little bit here. These other guys walk so you could run. The Rock is one of them. I get it. He was not in your company that you were part of now. He didn't main event Wembley, as you said. But at the same token, if there wasn't a guy like The Rock, a guy like Steve Austin that you mentioned, a guy like even Daniel Bryan, you wouldn't be doing anything. If WWE was the only game in town, you'd be just a bum somewhere else, bro. You'd be wrestling for bar nuts. Like, you wouldn't be doing anything. So to just sit there and badmouth a guy just because he didn't, main event Wembley, just because he's a part of a conversation that you're not trying to have on a whatever show, podcast, whatever it was that you were doing. I don't even remember. I don't even know. I understand it. I do. You're allowed to be frustrated. But to handle your frustration in that way, to lash it out and be like, well, The Rock didn't main event Wembley. Who cares? And at the same token, like I said, and like you alluded to as well, you might not be trying to do it, but you are inadvertently shitting on The Rock now. For what? For what? Because you're frustrated how an interview is going? Get over yourself, bruv.
You're in your home country, too. It's not even like you're in fucking Fargo, North Dakota or some bullshit like that. No, you're in your home country and you're getting frustrated because they're talking about a worldwide figure that happened to be a wrestler. The fact of the matter is that worldwide figure that they're talking about in 2001 at WrestleMania X7 fought Stone Cold Steve Austin in the main event in front of 68,000 people at the Astrodome. A year later, he fought Hulk Hogan at the Sky Dome in Toronto in front of 66,000 people. Oh, I'll go a year later. Safeco Field, WrestleMania 19, in the third chapter of the trilogy between Steve Austin and The Rock, where he finally beat Steve Austin. And that was Steve Austin's last match up until 2022 against Kevin Owens. That was, I believe, another 50 to 60,000 people. 3 consecutive years. But,
the hilarity of it all, too, not for nothing, if you think about this a little bit more, holistically, too. The Rock is on the board, TKO.
Yes, he is.
Rock's just going to go, all right, so we're doing Wembley next year, WrestleMania, and I'm main eventer.
Yep.
just to go, fuck you to Will Ospreay.
Exactly. Like what you're doing is you're taunting the guy to cancel his gigs for going into the spring. So that way he can be in Saudi Arabia or another place that they decide, fuck it, we're going to do Mania next year at Wembley. And it's going to be me and Roman because I got to show this motherfucker how it's really done. Because The Rock versus Roman Reigns at Wembley is going to make your coronation as the greatest ever look like a crowded preschool classroom. Where if it becomes what everybody thinks it is going to become. Oh boy, I lost my train of thought again.
Is that because your cat is snoring next to you?
It is.
I had a feel.
Because my cat is snoring. And then on top of that, it is also like, it's the start of school, folks. So, so forgive me if my brain is a little elsewhere. Of course, the last couple of episodes.
Vast amount of marijuana.
What am I saying? The last few months, and that fog is finally starting to lift. So I promise the shows will get better, and I'll actually show like that I care. Except this show, I actually really do care because it's like when the second I saw what Ospreay said, I'm just like, well, I know what I'm going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, same.
Bruv.
Yeah, same, bruv. I saw the comments and I go, great. Just fucking great. He really is the gift that keeps on giving. And it's really unfortunate because I think they have a good card. They do. Not perfect, but it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And then he's in the main event. It's going to be a slam dunk for him to be in the main event, especially against Kenny. He's probably going to get knighted here, obviously. I say that both seriously for the belt and then obviously jokingly because he's in Britain. I digress. But it's like, then you got to open your mouth.
I wasn't looking at the joke. I didn't think it was bad. It's just,
I
think to him being a jackass.
I thought it was both, to be honest. So it's whatever. Well, I just, again,
I wouldn't throw you under the bus that bad.
I think Homer probably would. Yeah. I just, again.
Brother, this guy stinks!
I was going for the boo, actually, but yeah.
I know.
Football on a groin, it's football on the groin. Anyways. There's a little Simpsons humor in there for the night. I just really feel that when he runs his mouth, it makes me not want to watch it or watch him. It's unfortunate. And this is the guy that more than likely got to put the belt on.
I want to like him.
So do I. He's phenomenal talent.
He is. He is a guy that's like, yeah, he's one of the best in-ring performers I've ever seen. He's phenomenal. But he's a fucking moron. He's just like, these comments are just, dude, come on. You gotta think better than that. You can't just think that just because you're a better wrestler or worker than the guy means you're in the better class. You're not. Because you haven't drawn a tenth of the money.
He is $1 million for the 2-cent head.
Really, he is. You're right. He has, there are so many talents where you just sit there and you're like, I want to get behind him. And then the second he opens his mouth, you're just like, I hate his guts.
I'm going to be honest. That's Ricochet for me, too.
No,
because let's be honest. If you take away everything from Ricochet, he is phenomenally talented as well. He's not Will, but he's a great talent.
He's not Will.
And then He's not, but he's
That's the problem.
He's still a good talent.
It's not Will.
But then, same thing. He opens his fucking mouth and he makes
Yes.
this little social media post, and it's like, bro, I was just starting to like you again. But hey, let's talk about how that person deserved MS, right? Freaking idiot, man.
He should have been fired for that.
He should have. If not, at least suspended.
He should have been fired for that. I'm sorry.
I'll say fired or suspended, either one. But nothing was done, and it was just painfully obvious nothing was done. It was stupid.
Ooh, because he apologized. Ooh, yeah, he didn't really mean it, though. Come on. He was trying to save his job.
It's like, I probably fucked up right there.
I fucked up.
I fudged up, guys.
I fudged.
Guys. I think it'll be a good show.
I do too.
There's no word about the quote unquote buy-in or pre-show, if you will. So I'm wondering how many matches that'll be on that, because you know how he loves to throw matches out at the gate.
And the Costco guys are at Wembley Stadium. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Luigi Primo will be there.
It's me, Luigi Primo.
The one thing that I find a little bit comical is they're doing a men's casino gauntlet match, but there's nothing for the women. No women's casino gauntlet match this year.
He probably thinks it's like, well, we got 2 women matches in the card. That's sufficient enough.
No comment there.
That's what he's thinking. Like, well, it's just he's never because you could make the same argument with WWE right now. They're just not prioritizing women's wrestling. I feel like
I disagree. I think that WWE does try. I think it's hard on and I've said this before about SmackDown. SmackDown's only a 2-hour show now. I think it's tough. I think that's why some of the talent is missing, as it were. But I feel like both shows, they try to get at least 2 to 3 women's segments out there.
right.
I felt that this past SmackDown, though, was really weak on that. I think they got Chelsea out there with Tiffany and Nia and Lash, and I think that was it until they had some kind of like backstage segment with Charlotte, Tatum Paxley, and all those ladies. But that was like a 5-second segment. It kind of sucked. Raw was a little bit different. I think Raw tried a lot harder, but Raw's got the extra hour to play with. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You would think for a show that's probably going to be hours upon hours, there would be at least an extra women's match in there, but maybe it's the buy-in. Who knows?
Apparently not.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen with Jamie Hayter, though.
I know. She was champ like 3 years ago there.
I know.
Actually, no, Saraya won the title there 3 years ago.
Yep. I forget when Jamie Hayter was champion, but it was 2 years ago.
I love how Saraya became AEW champion, and then like at Wembley, huge deal, and then she leaves the AEW, and she's just like, yeah, it just really didn't feel right. It's like, yeah, no shit, but you did take their title and money.
I got nothing. When she said you could tell, and I was like, I mean, kind of not really. We're
Kinda,
champion. Like, it's hard to tell, but you were champion, so the check shall cash. So, I
Cash
know.
checks, right? You cash the checks? Okay, good. Glad you got paid. Good.
I mean, I'm not gonna say shit. At least she's back. You know, at least she's still wrestling. That's about all I can say at this point. So I got nothing else. I think I'm losing gas, though. I think you are too. I think we're ready to close this out. Watch AEW or don't. I don't really care, but
Yes.
it'll be a good palate cleanser, especially if you watch the NXT Heatwave, because I don't know who's watching that.
And I need to tell you, look out, Jack Perry! Look out, Jack Perry! No!
Okay then. Okay, then. Maybe
Good night,
maybe
everybody.
we'll see real glass. Maybe he's going to be in that casino gauntlet match, and
Cry me a
maybe we'll
river.
see real glass in that
Cry
match.
me a river.
I will. I
I
will.
choked out. I just choked up a little.
Yeah, that has not aged any better, by the way. Has not aged any better.
Still hilarious.
Oh, still, yes.
Still hilarious. Because
But on that,
everything
well,
on the tape is everything that you said that had happened, which was still hilarious.
yeah, I mean, the only thing I feel like is that he pushed him away. And it's like, I don't care. He's probably just mad. And at the same token, Jack probably was about to do something, and I don't really.
Monitors fell on me. I was in fear for my life.
I mean, CM Punk did kind of lunge at him. I rewatched it the other day because, of course, it's the anniversary of it, so
Yes.
why not? And he did kind of like lunge towards him, but it was like you still got the monitor and shit like
Yes.
right there, bro. Like just what are you so afraid of that he said he quit? Like get over yourself, man. I'm scared. He told me he quit. It's like I'd be scared too because you're losing your fucking cash cow, bro.
Then 3 months later, he's just watching fucking. He's probably hearing it from Chicago. The fucking pop he got when he walked out. It's like of all fucking things, you just sit there and you're like, that was the end of the show. War Games. Like you just sit there, you're like, yeah, that was a good show. Yeah, all right, you know. All of a sudden, it's just like you hear that fucking music. You're like, are you fucking serious right now? Is he? What? What the fuck is he? Holy shit!
Yeah, man. Who knew? Who knew? It's crazy.
What a difference 3 months makes. You're like,
Seriously.
what?
Maybe I need to start adding no complete clause.
The funny part about that was too, is that Nick Khan didn't call Punk like sooner, and he was just like, "You're under no complete." He's like, "No, I never had one." He's like, "Shit."
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, probably should have had that. My contracts.
But he's like, I could have had you fucking walk out like the next night. How fucking hilarious that would have been. Like he gets fired the next night, he walks out on SmackDown.
That would have been awesome. That would have been so great.
Holy shit! I want to laugh my balls off, but like, how the fuck did he let this happen? Idiots. Complete moron. I mean, 3 months also is just bad enough. Because, like, God. It was funny. Because Brian Lash used to say this all the time on Jim Cornette's podcast. The biggest main event in AEW history is CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. And this is after both guys had signed with WWE.
Yep. Yep.
And what was
not wrong.
What was one of the SummerSlam main events? Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk.
Yep. Never would have been for a title though, because Cody removed himself from that anyways in AEW.
So dumb.
I agree, but yeah, like I said, watch this. Watch AAA. Apparently, there's a AAA show this weekend too. Watch NXT.
Ooh.
Watch whatever you want, but I'll be watching this. Probably not live, but at some point.
I'll be watching you.
And on that note,
Good night, everybody. Bye.